because I'm CEO now. No. With that attitude, the business would not grow, because the time you should be working with your staff, the time you should be planning with the staff, the time you should be putting things together, looking over the business to grow, you think by this time you have small money in the pocket, you think you already have arrived. So many of the issues that businesses face in Liberia are issues that we are set up as a firm to help them to prepare, to help them to support themselves, so that when they get into their business activities, they are able to be sustainable, that they are able to maximize their capacity, because lots of opportunities are here. And I used to say, when I was in government, I said the same thing. There are lots of opportunities in Liberia. I will tell you, Liberia is a virgin country when it comes to investment, of course. When it comes to new business venturing areas, lots of opportunities all over the place, technology, all kinds of stuff. So it is the thinking. It is the thinking. You know, I hold the belief that, and I believe it's a fact, that an economy is as strong as its entrepreneurs. An economy is as strong as its entrepreneurs. If the entrepreneurs are not strong, you will not have a strong economy. I don't care how much the government do. I don't care how much policy,
because that's the foundation of the investment.
Because
I just want to know the kind of businesses that you're talking about that have huge potential to thrive in this country. That people tend to make the challenges more overwhelming than the potentials. What are the kinds of business?
But I will begin with the agriculture sector.
Okay.
You know, agriculture sector is a whole value chain coming from production. And when you get into production, I mean, you got to clear, you got to do. So there's a whole space in that space that we haven't been able to maximize it, just to look at production. Now, if you take from production, you want to bring it down towards the upper end, you're talking about issues around transportation of agri products. That's a line of business that, you know, you don't see a lot of people looking into. If you look from transportation, you want to look at issues around warehousing. That's a whole line of business around warehousing on agri products. What is the chain of then you want to even interface with distribution of agri products. You want to talk about the new generation, the fourth revolution. We would now talk about technology, the use of technology in agriculture. Where are we on that? Liberia is still having a lot of opportunity in that space that we have not utilized. So that's one line of business activities you can think about. Look at those who are in engineering and construction. Engineering and construction, we already see the country is on its pathway of, you know, developing, you know, from Madam Seli regime, the last regime of President we have, you know, President Boakai. Everybody is thinking about developing Liberia. What has happened in that space that entrepreneurs don't see? Construction. You have construction engineering services. We see electricity expanding, right? Services are going all over the place. Who are those taking advantage of that space? Electrical system setup, electrical services, in high quality. I'm not just talking about, you know, you go to 1 6-month class and you come from there, you consider yourself expert. We have to look at these opportunities. These are road construction, maintenance of roads, you know, keeping the road intact and making sure that things are working well. You have the lateral road, where you have the secondary roads. How many Liberian businesses are really moving in these spaces? So there are lots of, I can name them over and over. People can use a lot of course, trading, because, you know, trading has been the strength of Liberia since the Civil War. You know, not many manufacturing we're doing. So there's a whole space in the manufacturing space. That space, you need the upper end investors to come there. You know, you need someone with a better capital to be able to come in that space. But we can do it. We can do it.
I was just thinking about maybe labor. It comes with the population. I mean, you talk about in industrialization, and you make reference to Nigeria, for example, because they do have the population, they do have the manpower, they do have the labor. Maybe one of the challenges is because we don't have the population.
Well, population, you know, when I talk about population of Liberia, I talk about the regional population, you know, because we sit in the belt where we can access Cote d'Ivoire. We can access Sierra Leone. We can access Guinea. We are right in the place here. From here to Freetown is 5 hours. From Monrovia to Freetown is 5 hours. So that's a market available for any serious Liberian business that want to make things happen. So you don't worry. So the population in Sierra Leone, you have access to that population. You have from here to Guinea to the JK Belt. You take
You have the opportunity of free movement.
Free movement. You are ECOWAS country. So you can leave from here to Guinea right now, because from here the Ganta border is paved. 2-3 hours, 3 hours you are in Ganta. Another 2-3 hours you are in JK, somewhere in the forest region. So there's a market there you can access. If you have commodity, 2 options are available. Those in Guinea could come here and access those commodities or services and take it back to Guinea. So I see Liberian 5.2 million, or what, our population now is not the limitation. And that's what people think. And when I talk to international business people, I say to them, our position as a country, where we sit as a country, we have lots of opportunity untapped. And if we were to expand and develop those opportunities, we will be the hub. Liberia was the hub before the war. Many countries came here to get healthcare services. I mean, I was a youth at that time, and when the war came, so I see that, or child, but I see that from everything I saw before the war came, a lot of possibilities were here. Why have we lost that space? The mindset of the private sector then was different than the mindset of most of the private sector today. So most of the spaces we now, the private sector space, everybody's sitting down, they're waiting for the donation, so to speak, to come. Either government will give a donation, or sometimes the NGO will give a donation.
Politics has overwhelmed the mindset of entrepreneurship. But let's come to Gossman.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at, and you versed, because you've been in this for a very long time, you understand the challenges.
That's right.
You also understand the opportunities. What is Gossman doing to mitigate these challenges and to up these startups, and to promote the mindset of entrepreneurship?
Thank you. So that is why I started first with the problems, because these problems make us as a business development organization entity to look into opportunities. So we are building entrepreneurial mindsets, for example. Currently, we are working on one of our programs to roll out targeting young people to share with them that there's so much opportunities in Liberia that we cannot just continue to sit and sleep and wait. We should take our future destination in our hands. So that opportunity, that's one track. So entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship mind is something we are working on at Gossman. So I've been seeing all these opportunities.
So how do you select them in the first place?
So
you go in this community, very political. Everybody on the Palava or the Atai Center talking politics. How the leader is not doing this, the leader is doing that. How do you take that young man who is very energetic in politics and transform his mind into entrepreneurship? Yeah,
interestingly, what we've done over the last period, I can state to you more than 4-5 young people we have personally brought to our to the thinking that we have, in terms of entrepreneurship, and most of them are now setting up their own firm, doing different things. So we're using those things, but this is what we're trying to do. So at Gossman, we have a lot of networks now. Global before I even got into government, but now at the firm we do have a lot of networks that we are tapping into, international networks, and that's one of the networks I'll be explaining to you today on our entrepreneurship front. So we are reaching out to some of our friends, whether from the US, whether from Europe, whether from India, whether from China. We have identified a number of opportunities that our young people can get into. So building this entrepreneurship mind, we're working. We have signed up an agreement with a team that's going to be supporting and working along with us to recruit competitively people with business ideas. You have business ideas, you have not been able to put that idea into success. So we want to work with them. Bring your ideas. We'll sit with you. We'll mentor you, work with you, work around that, train you where you need training, kind of coach you where you need coaching, mentor you where you need to be mentored, and will link you with enterprises that have the same ideas you have that you want to develop. It doesn't have to be, would necessarily may not link you with only enterprise in Liberia, will link you with enterprises in the region, or will link you with enterprises outside our region.
Well, it comes with commitment, dedication.
Certainly, that is what we're going to be seeking for, because part of our requirement says, have you determined that this is a calling? People have to see entrepreneurship as a calling and passion. You have to have passion for it, because for the first, you talk about startups, right? For the first 1, 2 years, 3 years, you will have struggles. You have challenges, because that's the building time. That is when you are building your business. You are having, resource mobilization issues. You are having personnel management issues. Even yourself, you are working on yourself on disciplines. You are trying to make sure you have institutional disciplines. You have a mindset that will make you to grow from where you are. So all of these interplay will be working in that space.
Okay.
So in working with the young people in that space, we're introducing technology as well. So we'll also be trying to reach out to some of the colleges, community colleges, some of the high schools, because we want to incorporate people as low as from the high school to work on their minds on being entrepreneurs. Look, how are people in India making it? How are people in China making it? 1.4 billion human beings in India, but they have competition and producing. You come back to the market, you will say, okay, maybe they have a lot of population, so anything they produce people will buy. But we have a regional market. We have a region that we can easily move there with vehicle. You can get in your car here, you actually drive to Freetown. I've driven from Monrovia. I've driven from Monrovia here to Freetown in 5 hours. I have driven from Monrovia to Freetown in 5 hours in my car. I say, flying by airplane. Yes, I flew by airplane, but I drove by the road. 5 hours of in Freetown. That is the market we have, and we should see it not just a Liberian market. So, but even the 5.2 million we have is still a lot if you want to develop. It's still a lot if you want to tap into what we have, the opportunities we have. So that's a big portion of our work. We're going to be beginning with what we call the business support on the wheel. Business support on the wheel, which we have already franchised. We have registered internationally, and we have franchised that, which will be taking us into communities, into counties, and identifying people who have business ideas. And they want to work with these business ideas to develop them.
So, is it in effect? Have you started? Because I saw a picture of a
number of our team.
Yeah. What's going on right now?
So on our work, part of the work we also do at Gossamen is that we do program and project implementation for our institutions. So my firm was part of a firm that was recruited through a competitive process with PSR, Population Services International, and two others along with Gossamen, to implement a project called county-wide sanitation activity. And we have staff, about 24 staff across 5 counties. And so that is what you can see, the strength that we have, and we are supporting business ideas, business development in that space.
In sanitation.
In sanitation. So converting sanitation into a business venture, that's what we're doing. Under this project, in 2 fronts.
I'm here looking at the possibility, because linking sanitation to business.
Yes,
I want to see how that works.
Yes, so we have two fronts. USAID is funding this program, this project. So 2 fronts objective. One is to end open defecation, where people in the community will stop using the bush to toilet or using the side of the town to toilet. In those villages, our teams are there. The second goal is to build business institutions, to sustain them so that they become an entity that is looking at using sanitation as a business. By the time we end this project, we would have built 300 businesses across the 5 counties. We would have worked with 300 businesses to strengthen their capacity.
Is it 5 years?
In 5 years.
Okay.
So we've already gone almost 2 years now.
Okay.
So by the time we are finishing, there should be at least 300 businesses that see sanitation as a business and work in the space of that sanitation. So it's a market-based approach. It's not the typical NGO execution that, everybody was expecting you bring everything free and give. So there are wholesalers identified in the chain of what we're working with. There are retailers in the chain that we are working with. There are also people we call artisans, who are people in the field to take the commodity to the household for sales and installation. So you see, the chain we're building is a model. It's a model that can be used in the marketplace to create any sustainable market venture that will be able to live on. So there's not like I said to you, it's an idea that during the time the team was developing this project, it was looking a little bit complex. It was looking challenging to say, converting sanitation, especially but toilet, right? In the toilet to sell the toilet product in that context to the rural community. But we have been able to do that because we, as a business development entity, have the experience in working with businesses to change their mindset that you can sell anything as a business as long as it's legal.
Does that model include infrastructure? Are you going to be these people that you're working with, are they going to be building?
So we have 2 commodities that is under the project. The project is bringing currently it's being financed, as I said, by USAID.
Yep.
So the commodities are bought through that grant or that funding mechanism and brought in country.
Okay.
And then in the chain, we are building what we call wholesalers in that chain. We're building retailers in the chain, and we're in Moserado County, we're in Grand Bassa County, we're in Bond County, we're in Nima County, and we're in Lofa County. So the teams working in these places, all the way in the remote districts and villages, working and the commodities come through that grant framework, and the commodity go to warehouse, and we move the commodity through the PSR network and Gossamer and all the other 3, Atina and Concern Worldwide. They are the 4 partners, and we move the commodity into the counties. At the county level, we do have business advisors. So
Gossamer those commodities are what?
They call them, they're not very common in Liberia. They call them sato pan and sato stew. I didn't bring in all the images right now to show you, but it's meant to convert your normal pit latrine kind of concept into something low molding, but not commode, but a bit molding that is affordable.
Okay.
That makes community to say, look, the flies, we have flies, reduce that, illnesses. You know what it means when flies sit on the feces, it runs back into the home.
Yeah.
So it has a health implication, it has economic implication, it has a business viable framework, because there are clienteles in that space that can afford these commodities, that can buy these commodities. So we take them to the wholesale and retail arrangement, and then the wholesalers and retailers work with their agents, and what you call the artisans and other people who are in the field to be able to now reach out. So we also honor the project train technicians. So that's the infrastructure portion.
Yeah.
Because it's a new commodity, not anyone can install it. Not anyone can install it. So there are also artisans, people who are masons, who have done some mason trainings, and they have the capacity. They've been trained also how to install these things. So as a way, there's also a business being created for them. So those people who do the installation, they have a fee that they must charge, nothing more than that, under the project. So this is the whole chain. And like I said,
let's talk durability of the commodities.
So it's very durable.
Okay.
Very durable. Coke durable. Because you were installing using concrete.
Okay.
And you can have it for as long as you build a sustainable framework and system. That's why those who we are training, or those who the program or the project has trained, as those who are installing, our team in the field, including all the partners, do go to inspect the installation. So when it's installed at the home, our team confirm that installation meets the standard, so that the demand and approve it, so that the demand, the taste, and the preferences remain for our rural communities. it's basically taking them from, using our own way of, you see now climate change, raining all over the place. You don't have to go be sitting under the rainwater and try to do. You can do your little, they call it quick combo.
Yeah,
you can do your little quick, stuff.
But affordable.
Affordable, very affordable for the rural population. So the middle class can deal with our normal commodes in the market, which they can do. But our rural communities, based on their income level, they have now the opportunity to keep themselves safe, live like any quick person.
And so at the end of the 5-year period, I don't know if there are prospects for renewal.
Finally, this is why we are the only local organization on that. So we are the national organization or Liberian organization working in the consulting. There are 3 international organizations, and we are the Liberian organization working with them. The vision, the plan is we are going to continue that even after the grant. That is why we as a Liberian organization, we are hired or contracted to support the business arm, because we are a business entity. We are a business development entity. So we are hired.
So you use that model.
We are going to use that model to continue that support. We are only doing in 5 counties. Now we need to go to the rest of the other 10 counties.
How are these counties selected?
Well,
was it based on needs?
They are the big counties.
Okay.
Of course, they are the big counties. 1, 2, the population there is large. And so, in the context of that space, the need will be there as well, because, population will attract needs and demand these kind of services. So hopefully, whether USAID will continue in terms of funding or other partners will want to do for the other counties, we at COSIME have seen this as a business model that we will continue to support and ensure that the businesses survive and sustain themselves. That's why we are not just taking it as the pictures you saw. We are training these businesses. We are training them financial management. We are training them system development. We are training them marketing. We are training them, record keeping, bookkeeping. We are training them, branding. We are training them to be businesses beyond project. So it is not. So that is sustainability.
That's where I was coming.
That is the sustainability problem, Vavely.
Because the vulnerability is the lack of this, the common knowledge.
Yes.
Whether it's about how to manage the finances,
exactly,
how to keep records.
Yes.
How all these things that go along with sustainability.
Exactly. So we have mentors and coaches assigned to each of these businesses that we're working with. Our staff, I provided, so we do their mentoring plan, we do their coaching plan, and of course, as a CEO, I now have the opportunity, now that I'm back to my firm, to put my eyes in these things, because I know I've worked across different institutions with variety of programs, projects, and knowledge, and so that is enriching to our firm. So we're using that model, mentoring, coaching, training, supporting them, making sure they are putting themselves as a business. After the project closes, that framework will continue. We will work through that chain for them to continue to do that, because we wouldn't have served the entire country. We would have had 300 businesses in Liberia that know how to do sanitation as a business, using especially these kind of product. But they had all innovations coming up. Interestingly, there are innovations coming up. So we started with the produce, with the particular product. Now there are other production that are now coming up locally. So that shows the innovation coming alongside the project. So between now, before we end in 5 years' time, you will see that that project would have given rise to many other domestic production of products that will be supporting the same idea, the same logic, to keep the community clean, to ensure that homes have the comfort they need to have, and to keep them running as businesses. So the sustainability is already there, and I'm pushing my team every day. I take no excuses. I say to them, results. We are private sector people. We count on results. We count on deliverables with the tangible results. Again, another typical NGO project where by the time the project closes, the signboards are standing there, nothing is happening. We are doing business development along this, and that's why from day one, we incorporating. Well, we have selected the business partners.
Okay.
And these business partners are going to be mentored, coached, trained over the period of the 5 years intervention to ensure that they understand best business practices. They will do their business plans along with them as well. So they have a futuristic look into where they are going. So we're not just working with them and shutting them down. And when the project closes, they will continue to be supported by Gosime as a firm.
You say how many are they, the businesses that you do?
They are going to be 300 by the time we hit 5, or by the time we hit year 5. Okay. But currently we have a little over 200 of them now that we have been training. We have been, starting. We have started their mentoring and coaching programs, and they are very, very energized and excited.
So the training, the mentoring, the coaching is going along with, the implementation, the installation of the equipment itself. So
exactly.
It's simultaneous.
And the reason why we push for that, because again, like I said, I've been in this space for a long time. The idea behind this is because in 2008, I worked with USADF funding. That they were doing enterprise development as well. I work as project and program officer at that time. Funding were given to institutions as high as $250,000 US. Most of the institutions are shut down today. Why? Because when the funding was given, we supported them up to a budget limit. They were tied only to the bid. At that time, it was not Gosime. I was working with a different firm. My Agency for Economic Development Empowerment at the time, and Wudabo Inc. And then working under the US ADF project, you give agencies as high as $250,000 in grant. In grant. The goal was that coming out of the war and new development coming, we're now in development space. When you give a firm $250,000, they will see that as a seed capital that will make them to build a sustainable enterprise. So we assume at the time that when you give them the money and you go to the workshops and they will learn and they will run by themselves. That didn't happen. Most of those businesses today do not exist. I've been here since that time, and I can go counting them. Probably maybe 2 or 3 of them still surviving. Okay,
the model
was wrong. The model was wrong,
and the mindset was not there.
The mindset was not there. So the level of engagement of training, for example, the level of engagement with mentoring and coaching, okay, the level of the vision of sustaining that engagement until you see that the business themselves, they are running as a business and supporting them, and you are off, you are getting off, was not considered. We made an investment. We did 1 or 2 consultants. They came to the business. They trained them 1 day, 2 day workshop, and then we get in the money. They bought their things. They put it in the place, and the next day we have invested in you already. This year we are not, we are not with you again.
Okay,
we'll move to the other people. So at the end of the day, most of the people who receive that funding did not succeed.
There was no foundation.
There was no foundation. So under this framework, and any other project and program we receive or we are fortunate to be part of, we push the logic that we have to start the development from the beginning.
But do you
and we have to sustain that development until after the end of that engagement. Why? According to business practice, startups, any startup, any new business, your survival rate is between 3 to 5 years. You are that is standard. Your survival rate is between 3 to 5 years. When you cross the 3rd year, when you have started from year 1 out to year 3,
whatever
business it is, if you are a strong entrepreneur,
what is an online kind of business,
any startup, any business idea that you take up for development, and you are serious about it, the survival is between 3 to 5 years. So when you start the concept, you start all the concept, people development, and you're getting new ideas, you're doing all the things, year 1, year 2, you're working on. So by the time you hit 3 years, your system should be in place. The business system should be in place. The functionality should be working. Things should be organized that make you an enterprise. Financial systems, management system, operational systems, and everything else that should support your business should be in place. Between year 3, 4, and 5, that is when you are supposed to be aggressively pushing now for seizing what you call investment kind of framework, in the context of saying that by the time year 5 must start doing returns, that you're expecting that the investment you made. So during those periods of the investment, there are painstaking effort that many people cannot stand.
Mr. Flomo, let's talk credibility in business.
Yeah.
I think credibility is an important kind of ingredient worthy of investment, whether it's a grant, because if you're not credible, nobody will invest in you. Do we see, is it a hindrance to Liberian businesses?
It is. Lack of trust is a problem in Liberia business space. Lack of trust. I'm saying this because I have worked in the space. I'm not guessing. We are a business firm. Okay? We do business as well. You hire someone, you give them a job description, okay? They come to work when they feel like. When you dismiss them, they take your complaint to your uncle, to your pa, to the entire community that you are a bad person, because they didn't come to work on time. And you warn them, you raise it, and you give them a task to perform, to go in the field and leave that task and don't perform the task, and they're somewhere celebrating something. When they come out, they give you excuses. Now, when you question them, then you are a bad boss. Okay? So the whole issue about business in Liberia has to anchor on trust, on commitment, on dedication of the entrepreneurs. They themselves. You as an entrepreneur, you gotta trust yourself. When people give you money and say you signed up for this plan, there's something when I teach them business. When they in my business class, there's something one of my colleagues, and I adopted it from her. They say, why you say behind the money when you have not received the money, say it when the money comes. That's a simple way when I'm talking to small businesses, I say. So a classic example. You say you want business, you want this investment to order, so many pieces of your working tools. Power tiller or tractor or pickup or truck. And then the money is approved. The bank gave it to you. By the time the money comes, no. You say, I wanted to buy the truck, but the way the money not come, should I really buy the truck again?
Then you slacking.
Auntie, I want to buy the truck again. I want to go pay my horse. You understand? Right now, I'm renting. Let me go pay the horse. When I finish with the horse, I'll be living in the horse. Before I will try. When I try hard, I get money. Then I'll go buy the truck. I'll replace it. You have already set yourself up for failure. Because what you said that when you were planning for that money, what you said you would do with that money, when the money came, you diverted the plan. So most of the businesses fail just because of that. Just because of that misapplication of what you have planned. You said, this is my business idea. By the time they give you money, now I know you big sharks. You got a big boy in the place. And, you want to ride the latest of car. That was not the plan. The plan was for you to go do the farm. Now you want to ride the latest of car that was not budgeted, but you have to take that car money. So it's discipline, it's commitment. To be an entrepreneur, you have to have a culture of self-confidence, self-belief, trust, commitment, dedication to everything, honesty to everything you decide to do. You have to have integrity, high integrity, in order to be successful as an entrepreneur.
And another argument from businesses, especially young businesses that have interacted with, whether they are young entrepreneurs with so much passion and they want to see succeed, is the issue of the kind of benchmark you business developers said. They say you people are very with the requirements so rigorous before you even to apply to get a grant, for example. I mean, the standards is high for them, especially for a young man, maybe just graduated from the University of Liberia or anywhere else. You have this mindset. You're trying to strive on your own to develop your little business.
So that's why now we are starting with this entrepreneurship development. You know, this framework at Gosime we're now trying to start as the entrepreneurship development program is to work with them, you know, because there will be difficult times. So we as a firm will support them at our cost, so to speak. In this case, we will support them at our cost because we'll be doing training, we'll be doing, you know, some mentoring. We'll run some online programs for them. You know, so some of these programs that we are putting in context will be able to support them to become successful people, because by the time they get into the real application of their work, as soon as they get into the application, they have already gone through all the stages. They've gone through all the things that should make a good entrepreneur. And the qualities that good entrepreneurs should possess, they would have already gone through these qualities. And that is why now, in addition to that program, I now told you that we have our new program that we have built along with a California-based software company that is called Blue Skies Accounting.
Okay.
So, because financial management is the key challenge here in this market, because most of the entities, you know, if you don't have a financial management skill, you don't have a financial management knowledge, your business could just easily just collapse in few days or in few months. So we have now worked with the Ag Data from out of California. They're more than 52 years in the software development, especially accounting software. So we have now signed an agreement with them. We have tailored a software for Liberia's preference. And that software is an accounting program that allows Liberian businesses to run your business into one pocket. And how do I call that? How do I call that? I call it, for example, I call, so you can do your general ledger accounting. That means you can do your general book, your bookkeeping. You can do that. You can do your payroll management. Okay. You can run your payroll management, meaning you can do your HR also along that. So you hire the personnel. When you hire them, all the details about that personnel, including their picture, you can put a biometric information in the system if you like. You also can run, because you know, this is the reason why I push them to do this, is because Liberia trades in two currencies, Liberian dollars and US dollar. And our payroll says you have to convert your, if you are trading US dollars, you have to convert your payroll into Liberian dollars, do your tax calculation, and then convert back to US dollars, and then pay your people if you want to pay people. So in the space here, because I've worked in that space for a long time, accountancy and of course finance, and you know, I just came from you know, the economic space, so a multi approach or lens into that space of business development. We now have developed this system which allows you to actually work in the two software, in the two currencies. So you don't have to do your payroll in Excel anymore. You don't have to go take your staff and put them into Excel anymore. You can keep all of the information in the one software. In the one accounting software, you can now do your payroll, you can do your HR management, you can do your general ledger financial transaction, meaning you can do bank reconciliation using the system as well. You can use it to do your balance sheet, your income statement. You can use that for that. But even more besides, you can run a lot of cost accounting frameworks. So you want to be able to do reporting by cost center. You can run that in the system. So we have now customized the accounting software for Liberia. So they've given us that franchise, that right to run it in Liberia, as part of our business support services. So entities, whether you are even NGOs, you are an NGO, because most of the people have issue with payroll management. So instead of you trying to take your accounting out, you use one, maybe you use, QuickBooks have been a wonderful tool for accountants in Liberia, because I myself use it. The tax structure in QuickBooks, most of the time is US based, or, you know, in that, but we have brought the tax structure that is approved by the government, especially when it comes to payroll management, into the system, so that you can put in your tax, you know, your tax band of the employee, all their details and everything, and you can push it. So I call them all into one accounting software that supports the businesses. So all of these enterprises we are working with, our goal is, as part of the sustainability, to introduce them into using these systems to support their financial management appetite.
And these are things
Even for me at my firm, that's what I'm using now.
So, and these are things that they didn't even know.
No, they don't. They didn't.
So they are
have it.
learning and implementing.
We are going to push them until they have that capacity.
Yeah.
We are pushing them to build their capacity in such a way that they become sustainable enterprises. Then they can move along, they can expand anytime, they can add more value, they can do anything they want to be able to do. The foundation, of course, comes with honesty, commitment, dedication, integrity, everything, but also the system side of it have to be built. You have to build the system in such a way that support good business practices and good financial management practices.
Yeah.
So all of these things, we're working with them to look at some of their financial management, standard operating procedures. We'll upgrade it. So it's a whole package of business support we're giving, and that's why, as a business development organization, we go out to find problems. We see what problems businesses are faced with, and we try to develop solutions for that.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show. This morning, my guest is the Chief Executive Officer of the Gossamen Incorporated. He's here as my guest, just looking at the work that they do, and also the opportunities that are there for Liberian businesses, and how can Liberian businesses strive, like others in the region and the continent. You can call us now on 0770581886. 0770581886. Let's inform you that we have our outside broadcast coming up at 9:30. We will be joining our team at the United Methodist Church for the funeral of the late Charles Salif. Let's hear from this person here. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. What's the name?
Yes, I'm David Doe.
Yeah.
And good morning to our studio guest.
Good morning, sir.
I love the way you want to lift up the Liberian businesses. But can you please tell me the counties you are working in? Because every county has a village and town with leaders and maybe contact persons, so that we can know where all you operate or you are operating right now in our country. Sorry, I have a cold, so
yeah.
And to encourage others, because if you tell us that you are working in Nimba, please tell me the town so that when I go, I can see your handwork, and probably it will encourage me to be a part of the Liberian business.
Okay.
Because we have suffered a lot, and people try to put Liberians into business. Some will say Liberians are not serious people, but you find out they come to you with a little or nothing, and they want you to make magic out of what they give you.
Okay.
And then they tell the supporter or the donors that they have established this business for the Liberians that are handling their affairs are not serious-minded people. So let's stop this and see by telling us, look, I work in your country, and because I'm from Nimba, and I'm in Tapeta, I'm in this village, then I can go to see what you are doing there, and then we can be a part of your firm. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's get from this person. Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Babuda. How are you?
I'm fine. What's the name?
This is Ishmael James, the mayor of Community, and I'm calling you from Local County District 1.
Yeah, Ishmael, go ahead quickly.
Thank you so much. Let me appreciate our studio guest this morning. Man, thank you so much this morning for your deliberation on the radio. And sometimes I see this to be a challenge to us. Most of the time when people say we are not serious of business, it's not true. The education of the business is not to that extent. So actually, just one of our police asked the question, we are in local county here. If your decision is extended to local county, because it's some of us, we are the business practice, I am the coordinator for the Filipino branch in Fuya District. So I want to know whether your entity is extended to local county so that we can trace you together so that we can be in contact with you. Thank you so much this morning, Babu.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Good morning, Babu.
Good morning. What's the name? Yeah, Lawrence.
First of all, let me appreciate this. You guys, some Saturday morning I listen to expose per day. Like, remember me way back when the other representatives recommended how we sent up there. We took small money, but when the government got down, you go back to the village, they say you want to eat the money, we not pay. So, like, why is saying today with the Liberians, at least we got some people that show us, like, even me as I speak, I'm still hoping to see how to wake up the business. But before you leave the studio, please, they have another number so that we can be done. Whenever you're ready to advance them, because now we can't invite him in for you. But we'll pray God that one day he will see also that we can discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. We can take this call. Call us on 0770581886. We can take a call too and go back to Mr. Augustus Flomo. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning. So call us on 0770581886 and be live on the show this morning. We can take a call or go back to our guest. This is the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. Mr. Flomo, you can just respond to some of the concerns. Lofa and Nimba, I want to know exactly where you are.
Okay, thank you. And I think the man who talked from Lofa about our intervention, I remember when I was working with the ADF program, 2008, 2009, we went all the way into Foya, somewhere there, and supported the Interfor cooperative. So maybe that's what he's talking about. But yes, you're right. So for Lofa, call this number 0775 874752. 874752. Her name is Amanda. She represents our team there in Lofa. For Bong County, anyway, somebody didn't call for Bong, but I can give the Bong County number as well.
Yeah.
For Nima County, you can call 0886 48 717168 487168, and that person is called Safa. Safa is the focal person in Nima. For those in Bong, you can also talk to 0777205697, and the person is called Wises Zoyu. We work in Moserado and Grand Bassa. So I don't know whether I can lay hands on their number right away, but those are the places.
Okay.
And you can reach out there. But I think most of the concerns they give is all about supporting for success.
Yeah.
We as Liberians, we have, again, I will say what I said from the beginning. An economy is as strong as its entrepreneurs. If the entrepreneurs are not strong, if the private sector does not have that kind of support system, it will be difficult for the private sector to develop. So we are supporting the private sector to be able to develop. We are member of the Chamber of Commerce. We are also member of the Liberian Business Association. So to tell you, we are doing business ourselves, and we are practicing business while we are coaching and training and supporting businesses. So we know the problems. So when we come to your business, you want to fake. You want to fake. We'll know. We'll know that you're faking, because we ourselves are running business. We are not just typically looking for ways to fix you in the way people can't get you money. No. That time has passed. Liberians have to focus on the opportunities we have. Let's think out of the box. I say that to my kids all the time. I say you have to think out of the box. We all say, this thing is not happening, that thing is not happening. Yeah, we know that there's always the public space that the public will work in. But let's focus on using our capacity God has given us. Let's use our knowledge, the wisdom, and the commitment to make ourselves good entrepreneurs. So we want to encourage them. Gossiman Business Development and Support Services, we are here to support you. The new software we have, the Blue Skies Accounting, is also great opportunity for you to be able to get business systems working and functioning to support you. So we are there, and we look forward to working with more businesses outside our control, or what we call outside our current counties of presence.
Thank you very much, Mr. Flomo. Hope we do this regularly so that we or the media has a role in helping Liberians to venture into entrepreneurship.
That's correct.
So, and just remove this whole thinking about politics.
That's why I say to people,
so that we think anew.
Politics is different from entrepreneurship. And I always say to people, regardless of you having a political interest or political position, the common denominator we have is Liberia. And also your personal growth and development depend on how you think, how you work, and how you take action. So We look forward to that, to doing more.
Thank you very much. Well, he's Mr. Augustus Flomo. He's the Chief Executive Officer, the CEO of Gossamen Incorporated, involved with building the capacity of small businesses. He's been my guest. Next, I will be speaking with Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Larama Yonton.
If you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down